Hey, what's going on everybody? Michael here. Welcome back to another video. And we're not in our usual position because today, as I have promised, I'm going to review the Samsung Galaxy Buds. So it's been a week since I've used them, and it's time for me to give my overall opinion on what I think of these headphones and also whether I think they're better than AirPods 2. So first thing I will say, before the video starts, I want to make a few disclaimers. One, I have filmed the AirPods versus Galaxy Buds video, which I will be releasing this week. I am just working on a few edits here and there, but I figured I'd put the review out first and then I'll put the versus, and you will understand what I mean in this review. So I have compared these to AirPods and AirPods 2. Number two, this is an unbiased review, so do not expect me to be favoring Samsung or Apple in this review. I am going strictly based on a consumer's purchase mental process and also quality and everything. And finally, I will be breaking down my review out of 10. So please bear those three things in mind. With that said, let's start the review. So first off, when I got these headphones, I wasn't really too sure what to expect. I normally buy Apple products, since you guys know me. I always like to do Apple, but when I got these headphones, I was really shocked. And for the most part, these surprised me. These really surprised me. For a guy who uses Apple products, getting a little bit outside kind of made me, feel more confident about buying other products from other companies. So with that said, let's start the review. So first things first, let's talk about the presentation and battery case. So when you see these Galaxy Buds, the case is very nice. It's almost like a pill shape kind of design. You got your USB Type-C here. Now I will say I have not used my USB Type-C cable that has been included. I have saved that as a backup. Mostly I've been using the wireless charging feature, which we will get into in this video. And for the most part, the battery life on this, I will start off right away, is battery. So these buds last a very good amount of time. Generally, because I don't use them as often, putting these in and using them are pretty much easy and are simple. Now, they don't hurt my ears when I put them in, and for the most part, the design is my favorite thing about these. These are an in-ear design, and because of their in-ear shape and the hooks and everything, you're more customizable. But as I said, we're gonna start at batteries. So batteries on these things, since they are 6 hours, I have done a full test where I've used them for 6 hours, and I was able to get 6 hours plus a few extra minutes. They do give off an emitter when it's ready to charge, but when I don't use them for the 6 hours, I'll use them for like maybe 30 minutes, an hour when I'm working out. But the main thing you're probably thinking of is the charging case. Now, I will say from my use and experience with the charging case, I have been able to use this thing, charge it up, and for the most part, I don't charge it until the next day. So when it's fully charged, I'll use it for at least 2 days without charge. So today is the second day, and today I have to charge up the case. Now, the cool thing with the charging case is you get two emitters. You see the buds charging on the inside, also tells when they're paired as well to your phone, and also on the outside. See, as you can see, it is red. That means it needs to be charged. Now, the cool thing is I thought the 7-hour battery case was not going to be enough, but to my surprise, they were. So I gotta tell you, I can understand why Samsung went for the 7-hour, because you're honestly not gonna be using these buds unless you use them in your ear all the time. These honestly satisfied pretty well, and honestly, battery was good. Next up, we are going to talk about is wireless charging. So when I put these down on my triple charger, which also I have done a review on, I use this charging pad, again, cross promo, so check out this video if you haven't. And for the most part, this is my favorite feature of this. You could talk about the things that I'm missing because I am an Apple user and because I am not using them as much, but for the most part, using this with the wireless charging not only allows me less cables, but when I do have to use a cable, my charging pad uses a Type-C, so I have the versatility. And just being able to put them down is awesome. I like the fact that the wireless charging comes standard in this. Now, no nod to AirPods 2, because even though I will give into my detailed review on AirPods 2 as well, I gotta tell you, these do a great job of making it standard. You don't have to pay extra, and honestly, it saves you money. Because look, I know everybody complains Apple products are expensive, and I understand you pay for what you get, but you gotta understand something. If you're gonna make a purchase one time, you're gonna wanna get the best. And obviously that's what AirPods did, but they priced it at a very questionable, if I say so myself, price point, and this is priced at $130, so that's $70 less, and for the most part, the experience has been pretty well. Now, also keep in mind, I have been using this on my iPhone 10, and please do know that on my iPhone 10, I'm using an iOS device, so you can use this review as reference from an iOS user. Next thing is now the experience. So when I open this up, they do take a few minutes, not even it takes a few seconds load up on my phone, but once they're loaded up, they're good to go. Sometimes I just pull them out and boom. But the cool thing with this is it does have AirPod-like features. 1 tap will give you the play and pause, 2 taps will skip, 3 taps will rewind, and if you hold the emitter, you can also access Siri. Now, even though Siri is a little delayed on these because of the Bluetooth, and it's not just this, it's also every Bluetooth device that I've used, the cool thing is that it allows you to use what you have on an iOS device without being limited. When I tried to use AirPods on Android, I was not allowed to use the double gestures or anything. Although the play and pause work, I wasn't able to hold it for Google or anything. And I'm also referencing this on my mom's phone. But you're probably wondering, what about sound quality? Well, if you haven't noticed, it says right here, sound by AKG. Now, because Samsung owns AKG, it would only make sense for them to do this. And I've got to tell you guys, these are my favorite sounding headphones that I have. Of course, there are some negatives, which I will say, but I gotta tell you, for such a small form factor, just like AirPods, because even though I will give a comparison, I'll save that for another video, but I will tell you the sound quality is great. However, my only first complaint is the sound of the bass. Now, if you're a bass heavy person, you just love the bass, then I'm sorry, these are not the headphones for you, because these have very little bass. Now, it's not like it's not completely there. There is moments when you do feel a slight punch, but it's not strong enough bass. But I will tell you though that the vocals, the instruments, you get your low end, the mids and highs are nice, and for the most part, everything is clean. And I gotta tell you, these sound phenomenal, and I gotta give props. The sound quality is great. Now, are they better than AirPods 2? Well, yes and no. And I'll give you a quick heads up just to break down my next video with the AirPods. The first thing I will say is, if you want the bass, the AirPods have a little better bass, but if you want clarity and you just want to hear the music, this is more to go. So I just want to put that out there. But now let's talk about features. Now, this thing has a ton of features, but they're only limited to Android. You can get some of them, like the ambient noise mode where you can hear the outside surroundings, the volume, gestures. So there are some things missing, and also it is hard if you are an iOS user, because this thing does support software updates, but you can't get them through the phone. However, I have been able to find a roundabout. If you guys do want to get the updates, you can download the Wears app on your MacBook, if you have a Mac, or if you just have a Samsung phone or anything, download the Wears app, disconnect them from your iPhone, connect them to that phone or device, and you can do it either by cable or wirelessly. Either one works, and you can update the firmware and the software, whatever's in here. And I gotta tell you, there was a patch where the Bluetooth was going in and out. I have noticed these a couple of times before the update, but after the update, they have been very steady, although there are some times when they do go in and out, so I will admit there. But honestly though, those are ways you could go around it, because I don't think that's really a bad thing. There are some negatives. My first negative, like I said, was the lack of bass. Even though it is there, it's not as punchy as I wanted, but that's okay for me. But I want to put that into perspective for consumers. So one, there is a little less bass in this than I was thinking. The next thing that I have a problem with is also the magnets when you put them in. With the AirPods, they're in, but when you put these in, they're still wobbly and stuff, so there's a chance, like, let's say you open them fast and you accidentally fall or this turns over and you're shaking, these don't stay into place that well. Now, I have seen YouTubers that do this all the time in comparison, but I'm talking in a real world scenario. So like if you're on the train, or if you're going to work, or you're walking to the bus and you trip and these fall, these will fall out pretty easily. So that's my only complaint with the case design. They should have had another complaint that I have with the Galaxy Buds is probably a nitpick here, but if you look closely at the design on the inside of where the speaker is, it's very hard to clean. Now, there are some tutorials, and even though it is sweat resistant and a little water resistant, it is still a little hard to clean these, because after a while everything builds up earwax. With the AirPods, at least it has a coating on the inside that protects liquid from getting in, and you can use it because it has a metal mesh kind of thing, and you can use alcohol in a swab. You have to be very careful with these because these have more holes and they're open, and these could also contract a lot of earwax, and I've noticed that, and I was able to also explain later on in the comparison video. But I do think that this is a nitpicky thing. I don't know if that will come down to affecting. And finally, my main issue with the Galaxy Buds, my final main issue, is honestly the Wears app is not included in iOS. I wish Samsung would come out so you could take advantage of the EQ settings this thing can have. You can use your EQ, you can always tune them, but honestly the sound quality is fine the way it's set up. But if you wanted to customize it the way they did it on a Galaxy phone, it is not present for iOS users. So I hope Samsung does make a Wears app for the iOS. I think they have it, but I hope they allow support for Galaxy Buds. But with that said though, what are my final thoughts? Well, overall, I really do enjoy these headphones. I gotta tell you, these are phenomenal pair of headphones. I don't think I ever had a moment where I was disappointed using these. I honestly like the sound quality, I like the features it has, I like the fact that it's wirelessly charging and it comes standard. I also like how the design is nice and it stays in my ear. No disrespect to AirPods, but they keep slipping out, so these do a great job of staying in my ear. Sound quality is pretty good. I won't say these are the best sounding, but honestly, for what you pay is what you get, like I tell everybody. And the best price of all, or the best part of all, is the price. For $130, you get a really good pair of wireless headphones, and these have Bluetooth 5.0, and I was able to go all the way from the 3rd floor of my house all the way to here while doing chores around the house, and no connectivity lag or input, so there's a plus right there. Just like Apple's as well, so I can't knock on Apple. But overall, would I recommend this? Well, here's what I will say. If you are looking to save money and you're an Android user, it's no question, you should definitely pick this up. If you're using a Samsung or an Android, definitely pick these up, because these are definitely a great purchase if you are an Android user. Now, if you are an iOS user, and let's say you don't want the AirPods 2, you can always get the AirPods 2 without the wireless charging case, but let's say you do want the wireless features. Honestly, these are not bad at all. I would recommend them to iOS users because you really won't be missing out much. Although there is a negativity I forgot to mention, they don't allow only one device you can connect this to. You're gonna have to manually connect them. You're gonna have to disable them from one device to another. So I wish Samsung had allowed you to connect to at least up to 2 devices, but it's okay because honestly, the setup process is very easy. It takes only 3 seconds and boom, that's about it. So, final thoughts? If you really want to get something that's equal or equivalent to AirPods, but you want something that's a good fit, I would honestly recommend this. These are a great pair of headphones. I know this video was longer than I wanted, but final thoughts, I would definitely recommend. And these are my new go-to headphones for everyday use. So that's going to do it for this video. So thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry if you didn't really see much in this video of me. I just wanted to give this review because honestly, you guys deserve a review. That's going to do it for the Buds. AirPods, I'm sorry, somewhere in there, so I apologize. But anyway, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know, do you have Galaxy Buds? Are you a fan of them or not? And always like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. And also, my voice is still lost, but it's coming back. So that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching and peace. No, I can be